Get my windows ready.
Well, Windows, come on now. Do your thing.
There I go. Winders.
Winders. I made some tweaks to the sound for XSplit, so let's see how it sounds. In there.
Sweet.
You're gonna hear it loop back for a second. Chat. For XSplit, so let's see how it sounds. In
Sweet.
there. You're gonna hear it. It sounds good. All right. Cool. Now I can hear what's going on.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes, I had to make some audio tweaks to try to see if I can fix some of the. I still haven't fully fixed the crackle problem, but slowly but surely we're working on some stuff to see if it fixes.
Good, good.
Yeah.
I saw there, well, not really an update, but Focusrite had a thing they put up in at the end of July about how to install the USB drivers
Mm-hmm.
for their Scarlett. So I may go back through those again and just redo the whole thing and see if that fixes it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's. Oh, I gotta tweet the thing. Let's do that.
That or find another box to use.
There we go. We're live one day early. That is. So, you are no longer like sinus stuffy man, are you?
No, and my voice has returned to somewhat normal levels too. So it's been a rough few days, but I'm glad I'm finally getting over it. I think I crested the hill yesterday, and so now I'm starting to slowly get my strength back. And it's been rough, but I feel a lot better today than I have the last few days.
Good. Good, good. I mean, that is just like you don't know where you picked it up. You're going to a whole bunch of different customers' houses, so you could have gotten it anywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, it hit me. I had like a slight bit of sniffles Wednesday night. I was like, just my nose. It's allergies. Just
Yeah.
a normal thing. And then woke up and my head felt like it was ballooned out to here, and I felt so bad. Just gross.
Yeah. Yeah, and it happened on quick. It came on quick is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Um
it really did. And I thought I would feel better by showtime, but it got worse and worse, and my day was awful. And I barely survived just work that day, and it was a bad day.
yeah.
Such a bad
Yeah.
day.
No, see, that's why you're just like sometimes it's just like go to bed.
Yeah, and I
Go to
did.
bed. Oh, hi. Hi, Tiber. Yeah, we're a day early today. It's pending. I'm going to New Jersey this weekend. And I leave tomorrow, so recording early so that I can get the show up and out and on my way to have a couple days off. So you get to hang out with us for a little bit. How does that
Yeah.
work?
How's that for your Wednesday?
How's that for your Wednesday?
Take that.
There's your Wednesday right there.
Yeah, you thought you were going to have other plans on Wednesday. You thought, well, I'm going to go do some world quests, or I'm going to do some quit. No, you're going to listen to us and do those other things at the same time.
Yeah,
If you want. If you
I,
want.
I I am the worst when it comes to the multitasking thing, so I can't make sure. I mean, there is no way I could say to anybody, "You must focus solely on our stream and not on anything else that you would be possibly distracted with, like your phone, your WoW, your dog, your email, your Twitter, Pokemon Go."
Yeah.
uh, I tried to go out and catch a Moltres this weekend. I couldn't do it. Nobody was
Oh,
around to do it.
nobody was around for Moltres Day?
No, they were actually like at different parks than the one that I went to, and there was just
Oh.
nobody at this park when they popped, and I was like, I had woken up that morning and my stomach had been bothering me for a couple days, and I woke up that morning and I was just like, I don't want to eat, I'm not hungry, so I'll go out and I'll walk in the park. And it
Mm-hmm.
was, so it started at 1 o'clock our time, and So the birds pop, and I'm walking around, and there's nobody. There's just nobody, hanging. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day in the park,
Yeah.
and there's nobody there to catch anything. And then I got wickedly hungry. It was like, I hadn't eaten for like 16 hours, and my body was like, excuse me, excuse me. Like,
Oh, hey, by the
you,
way.
you may want to take care of this. And so I was like, all right, I guess I'll forego this. So yeah, so I never caught the Moltres, but hopefully I might be able to snag another one since they're now popping back in. So
Yeah, with that news of all three of the birds coming out, and then Mewtwo as well.
yes,
That's going to
which
be awesome.
that is going to be awesome because I have not yet gotten an EX raid pass. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and those can be tough because you got to have the raid has to have some like a 5 skull or a 5 skull raid has to pop, and then you have to have a sufficient number of people in it to trigger the possibility for it to be an EX raid or
yep,
EX raid past gym. And then out of all the people that qualify, then you got to go from there. So
yeah. It's just like holy crap,
it sucks.
it's complicated.
It is, yeah.
But
I'm but yeah, that so you should have a good chance to get a Moltres when they start coming out again.
yeah, I think I'll make another trip over to Mall of America because you can literally find a raid group at any point that you
Oh
need
yeah.
to. So that part is nice because there's just so many people around, and they've got something like 20 gyms in that space. So
Good grief.
it's insane. Oh my lord. I love walking around there and just, collecting all the gifts and collecting all the, my bags get full too fast. Like, I got to clean up my bags again. I keep buying more bag space and it's still not enough.
Yeah, I've run into that. I've capped out on bag space. Like I can't upgrade it anymore.
There's a cap?
There's a cap of 2,000.
Uh-huh.
I think 2,000 items, something like that. And I capped out a while ago, and so I
Wow.
can't. I
I gotta
can't.
look at what mine is.
Yeah, I have to go through and delete like berries that I don't use. I don't use the raspberries or the nanan berries. I don't use those very often,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I just trash those.
I started
Let's
trashing the,
see.
the low end potions because I don't use
Hmm.
those anymore.
Yeah,
I
potions,
have
super potions. I don't use. Yeah,
I have
2,000's the cap.
600 slots, a 600 slot bag, and I'm constantly filling it up. So
Yeah, yeah. I managed to upgrade it all the way to 2,000, and I keep capping out. But like I have over 400 rare candy, so that's probably one reason why.
400? I think I have 9.
I do a lot of raids,
You do
and
you do do a lot of raids. Yeah, so
gotta
that
make
makes
some
sense.
room here. But yeah, I managed well, and I did do the Moltres day, but only because there's one gym inside the convention center because I was at Arkansas Comic Con when it was on, and I managed to get into a raid for that one gym, and I got a shiny Moltres out of it.
Yo,
So
nice.
I was just like, okay, one and done. I don't care. That's it.
I
Good.
got my
That's
thing.
it.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, we might have to do some wandering around BlizzCon for some Pokemon Go hunting. See if
Oh
we
yeah.
can catch up some gems. There's been a couple people who have said they would do it. So
Oh yeah. I'm totally down for that. And I think didn't you and Ashanka go out to Long Beach, out to where the lighthouse is?
yep.
Yeah, that's where one of the biggest Pokemon Go YouTubers lives nearby, and he does a bunch of stuff at the lighthouse. And so that'd be like a little pilgrimage for me to get out there and be like, look, I'm where this guy I watch on YouTube goes.
That's awesome.
So I may have to go do that. I'm still debating on whether or not to do Disney on Sunday
Yeah.
because I've done it for 5 years straight, and I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe I've always wanted to go see a couple of the filming locations from Back to the Future,
Hmm.
and they're like scattered all over LA. So I thought about maybe going to one or two of those places and
That'd be cool.
snap
Maybe
you a
something
quick
different.
picture.
I mean, this is year 6 for BlizzCon now, so
Yeah.
It's like doing something. I've managed to do something new and different every single time. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's like find something that you hadn't done. Um, I mean, hell, I didn't go to Disney last year, but I went to outside of like the downtown Disney area. Like
Yeah.
almost every day I was there and just walking around and watching the sights, and they switched from Halloween to Christmas, and you got to see all that. And
Oh
so
yeah.
it's
Well,
just
the
like,
first year that I went, 2013, I went with a friend of mine that lives in town that doesn't she doesn't play WoW or anything, an old Matrix Online friend, and we went in there, and as we're walking in, they were they were filming the Christmas special for ABC,
oh,
like right then and there, and we'd like go around everybody because they had people standing in to be the crowd, quote unquote, and Nick Cannon was like 10 feet away from me. And
that's
I was just
awesome.
like, because he was like the main guy in the show, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. I'm standing real close to Nick Cannon right now, and he was, I think he was still married to Mariah Carey at the time, and I was like, I had the biggest crush on Mariah Carey back in the day, and he's married to her, so I'm like 2 degrees away from Mariah Carey right now.
So close to Mariah Carey right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this show on the road. Let me let's see. We've got a little bit of chat room going, so we'll just ready
Little
ready
chitter
check the
chatter.
lurkers.
Where is everybody?
I don't know. Where are y'all? I don't know where you are. But we're ready to do a show. If you're ready to do a show.
Draven, where are you at? You in the room?
It's probably raiding.
He might be raiding.
Tiber's ready. So we're ready. If Tiber's ready, I'm ready.
This. Da.
You ready to roll?
Yep, we got a couple people in here. Yeah, I'm ready to roll.
Okay. Episode 285 of Tauren Think Tank records in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 285 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Wednesday, September 12th, 2018. What? Wednesday? What is this noise? It's 8:13 p.m. My name is Jules, and I'm the reason for this noise because I have a trip this weekend, so we're doing it a day early. And with me, as always, is the man who has finally healed from the minor plague that kept us from actually doing a show, even though you got a little bit of a show on the feed, but you heard it for real, that he was pretty sick. It's Mark Conan.
Hey, guys and gals, welcome to the show. And like Jules said, I did have a touch of the death last week, but thankfully, over the course of the weekend and into the early part of this week, I was able to kind of battle it back. And so now it's on the downhill slope. I am feeling better. May have a little bit of a cough, but that's what the mute button is for. So you shouldn't hear too much of that tonight. But yeah, welcome back to the show. We're a day early on hump day because of some travel stuff, and that works out just fine. So we made it. We're here, and we're here to talk about cool things. So yeah.
Yeah, we're here. You're here. And we're ready to do this. And so we didn't have an actual show last week. We hope we actually, I've never done that before. I've never actually like popped just a little bit of a thing in the feed and just see, we got some well wishes for you in Discord and Twitter
Yeah.
to let you know.
Those are all appreciated.
But I didn't want people to like think we were trying to bail out or anything like that, because it was literally just we're sick. So yeah, so we're back, and let's start with like, besides the sick, what's been happening for you? What's new, exciting, and noteworthy?
Well, yeah. So yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since we did the full on show. Really, the kind of biggest thing, other than me being sick, the biggest thing that I did is, even though I was still not feeling well on Saturday, I had already bought tickets, and I'd been waiting to meet some of these people for over 2 decades. So I wasn't contagious anymore, but I did go to the Arkansas Comic-Con on Saturday.
Oh, you did go. That's
I
right.
did. I got just heavily medicated on like Mucinex and all cold medicine, whatever it was. I just got medicated up and went with my sister and nephew uh, downtown Little Rock to the Arkansas Comic Con, and I had a good time, even though it was weird walking around almost out of my head because of the medicine and just not feeling well. Um, but I did get to meet quite a few people that I wanted to meet. I got to meet Charles Martinet, who's the voice of Mario slash Luigi, Wario, Luigi, the entire. If he's a Nintendo plumber, he does the voice pretty much. And it was fantastic to meet him in person. And as he was signing the picture, was signing his autograph, he was saying, you know, it is a big picture of like all of the characters, Mario, Luigi, all of them. And as he signs my name, his name, and then he writes a little quote above each of the characters on the page and does that quote in their voice as he's writing it.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, it was great. And then my sister and nephew just met him because they didn't want autograph or anything. And as we're walking away, he's like, "Have a good day and thank you so much for playing my game." And I was like, it's so cool. I'm
That's awesome.
getting flashbacks all the way back from Mario 64. You know,
Yeah.
that's the first time I'd really heard him talk a whole lot. Was that, and yeah, it was great. Great chance to meet him. I met Roger Bumpus, who's the voice of Squidward on SpongeBob SquarePants. Which is awesome because he's from Arkansas and he actually went and got the same degree that I did in college from the same college. So it was really cool. I mentioned that to his handler who took all the autograph money and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, I heard you were talking about this. What's going on there?" You know, and we had a good chat. And then I got to meet two more Power Rangers this year. I met Johnny Young Bosch, who was the second Black Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
He's also Vash the Stampede from Trigun, which was one of my favorite animes. And then, of course, the piece de resistance was Jason David Frank, who is Tommy, the original Green Ranger. And I've been waiting to meet that guy for over 20 years, you know, ever since I remember this. I remember there was some Meet the Power Rangers sweepstakes that was on Fox back then. And I filled out, like, I think it was the max you could have 10 entries. And so I sent in 10 postcards wanting to win this contest. The whole time around, I'm like, man, I hope I get to meet him. I remember sitting at the kitchen table, writing, filling those out. And that memory has stuck with me ever since. And and the funny thing is that he had just done like Salt Lake City Comic-Con or Salt Lake Con or something. He was in Utah for Thursday and Friday. And then he got up at 3 a.m. on Saturday to make a flight from there down by way of Dallas. He got to Dallas and got delayed 3 times due to mechanical failures on the plane.
Oof.
And so he was supposed to get there, you know, like 11 o'clock or something in the morning and get ready to start doing the signings at 1 o'clock. So I get in the line about 12:30. There's a little bit of a line. And then it just kept getting delayed and delayed. I did not get to meet him until 8 p.m.
Ooh.
So it was me and my sister and my 12-year-old nephew in line for almost like 7 hours straight.
Whoa.
Yeah.
7 hours?
Yeah. We were in line for probably 3 hours. And then they finally said, okay, guys, we're going to do something different. The con closes at 6. So we're going to have you meet him outside in the convention center somewhere. And they started handing out vouchers. They said, at this time, we're going to announce where to meet, and you will have a front row. You know, like, I'll be in the first few people because I was in the first few people in line.
Yeah.
And so they're like, yeah, you guys get first dibs to meet him when he does come. So just bring that voucher at this time, and we'll tell you where at that point.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I got to go and eat some food because I was really dizzy at that point, and then walked around a little bit more, met a couple more people. And then I went and stood in line again for a couple more hours.
Jeez.
And then right before he started signing, that's when they decided to announce that he only takes cash. And so you hear hundreds hundreds of people go, what? Oh man, they should have told us that earlier. So then it's a mad dash to the 2 ATMs in this convention center,
Oh my
one of which was out of money already.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. So I make the mad dash, and my sister keeps my spot in line. I go down, and I'm still feeling bad, so I'm like trying to jog and run while trying not to pass out. Get there, get some cash, and then get back to it. And then finally, about an hour after that, I got to meet him.
Wow. I'm without words. That is a marathon.
Yeah. So the look on my face in the picture on Twitter of the two of us is, I hope I don't look like I'm sick or tired, because I'm very sick and tired. But I'm very, very grateful that I got the chance to meet him, and that even through all those delays, being up since 3 a.m. that morning, he was still willing to come in and stay until every single fan got a chance to meet him. He does
Wow.
that at most of his conventions. He will stay hours after it's closed, and that's a really big of him to do that, because
Yeah.
he knows how much it means to meet somebody like that, because he was always a positive role model for me as a kid, and over the last few years as an adult as well. He's someone I still look up to,
Mhm.
for the way he acts, and his actions and his beliefs, and his ability to stay positive and keep and just really be appreciative of his fans. So I commend him hugely for that, and I'm very happy that after all this time I finally got a chance to meet him. So
Wow.
it was
What a
great.
story.
Yeah, I got the selfie with him, and then I got him to sign my Green Ranger Funko and the Dragon Zord Funko, which are not up on the shelf yet, because I haven't taken the time to put them back on the shelf. So they'll be back up there next week.
Okay,
So
good.
yeah, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I slept like a rock that night because I was so exhausted, and yeah, and then went back on the path to feel better after that, because I kind of overextended myself that day, but I
Yeah.
had to. It's one of those things, like I'd kick myself for a long time afterwards if I didn't go, if I didn't just try.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
but yeah, that's really the biggest thing that's been going on lately for me, is that. So
Mhm.
very glad I had the chance to meet all those people, and you know, get their autograph, shake their hand, tell them how much I appreciate their work. So it was
Cool.
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 What
And
about you?
feeling better, hopefully.
Yes, and feeling better. Yes. That's the highlight of the week right there, is me feeling better.
Good. Let's see. So it's been a busy couple weeks. And things are good. I've done episodes of Heroes News, and last night I recorded an episode of Nerf This as the host of the show for the first time, which was a
Ooh.
weird, strange thing to do. So I did that. And in basically just kind of getting ready for taking a couple days to go visit my family, because I haven't been there. I haven't been back since May. And I have a story that held back from Marconin on
Yeah,
this
that's
one.
new to me too.
Yeah, so this is a new story for you. And if you've been listening to the show, you've heard of the issues that I've had with my cat Garrus and his affinity to hide in the tub, actually, like
Oh no.
inside the jet tub of my home. That jet tub was installed before I moved in, and there's an access hole to the tub. Inside the tub, it comes like through the closet, so he gets inside the tub inside the tub. Whoa. I'm echoing back. Sorry. I wound up hitting my keyboard and unmuting the stream. Sorry about that. So so it wound up being like this thing where that is his comfort zone. It is his place to go hide where people can't get to him if he gets scared. And but there's also an access hole in the back of it to allow him to get into the subfloor, which really bothers me. And
Yeah.
I don't like it. And I've been thinking about getting another cat, eventually. And if I get a kitten, I really don't want a kitten to get in there.
No, no, no.
So I've been trying to devise a way to seal off the hole. And I know this cat. I know that he's very crafty. And so and my my father will say, well, if it were me, I would just seal off the hole. And I'm like, Dad, you don't understand. So like, you don't understand how this is gonna be. So because the hole is there to access the electronics from the tub. So I tried something yesterday. And I got I have in my house, I have some of those large plastic tubs, storage tubs. And so what I did is I took the lid of one of those tubs and I taped it over the hole with packing tape, like big old like mound of packing tape all over the wall, all over the floor, basically just sealed it off. And then I waited and I watched. And I watched him go in there and he left and then he came back and he realized something wasn't right. He realized that he couldn't get into his little hidey hole. And now the chase was on. And I watched him. He was just investigating, like, how could I get, like, what has happened and how can I fix this? And I thought I had him. I thought he didn't figure it out. I thought he couldn't understand what I had done. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I'm in the other room. I hear... He ripped that thing off the wall and jumped in the hole.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know how he ripped it off the wall. I walked in there and I went, you little shit. Like, I can't even imagine what he did to rip this thing off the wall and get himself in there. And it was like, I just sat there and I just laughed. Like, okay. So I think the next solution is to like get a piece of wood and nail it shut and see if that would stop him.
Yeah.
But like he is not, that is like a no. He wants to be in there. Or he wants to have access to it. And if he doesn't, he's going to find a way. And I'm afraid of what that find a way might be. Like, is he going to chew a hole through the wall or something if I seal it? I don't know, but I it's like when you know your animal, like my dad is like, well, I would have sealed that thing off. And I'm like, you don't know this cat. Like he's a crafty little shit. Like he finds a way. And, so I guess that's the next step is to see if I can get like a hammer and some nails and a piece of wood and just nail it on there. See what I can do. So, oh my Lord, this cat. And he's happily sleeping in his bed right now. Very content because he knows that his access hole is still open.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a little story I wanted to tell you about my little shit of a cat.
Yeah. That's funny. I would love to see the video of him pulling it off. Like, I don't know if he used his mouth or if he like shoved his head in there or how he pulled it off there, but
I have zero clue. I have no idea what he did. Because all of a sudden it was just like I heard the noise of him getting it off and and then he's in. I was like, I can't believe you just did that. So, so yep. That's my cat. So, yeah, it's been a good week. Things are like now that things like we've got the BlizzCon virtual ticket announcement and all that stuff. Like it's starting to feel really real now.
Yeah. Like
super real because it's now September 12th and we're less than 2 months away and it's like, it's crazy.
I know. So I can't wait.
Yep. So yeah, the BlizzCon hype is building. We're getting excited. We're always excited about BlizzCon, but we've got a show for you, and it's just a regular like philosophical topic. We don't have a listener letter for you this week, so we're just gonna talk about stuff because I don't know, something that popped into my head. Thought it would be a good topic, so we'll play the bumper. Let's do this one.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
Poor gnome.
Every time he's going to get sick of this one day.
I know. So this kind of came up in some conversations that I was having with some friends of mine, and I thought it would be a good show topic. Do you ever feel like you, or maybe people that you know who you're friends with, seem to be living only for that next thing to come or to happen or things like that? And I'll give you some examples, like people saying things like, it'll, like, I'll feel a lot better, or it'll get better when the winter's over, or stuff will improve once this move is finally finished. Like, things will get better. Or I just can't wait for the weekend. Or I'm counting the days before BlizzCon, like we just did. Like, I'm so excited for BlizzCon. You know, it's stuff that we do a lot, and yet there's those folks, and I would say that I would definitely include myself in a lot of that, where it feels like you might be constantly working towards an anticipatory moment in life, to kind of reach that feeling of contentment or relief, or you know, Minnesota winters, for example, are horrible. And so I would be sitting there just going, okay, I just have to make it through 2 more months of this, or 1 more month of this, and then now it's autumn and I'm watching the leaves start to fall and I'm going, oh, it's coming. I don't want to start it again, but it's coming. And, but I guess my point being is, do you feel like we as a society and, you know, us as individuals maybe spend too much time looking to the future?
Always.
That was an easy answer.
Both on a societal level and a personal level. Like, I am very rarely living for the moment. You know, I am very rarely am I actually 100% present and aware of my surroundings, in the sense of not looking forward to the end of the work day, the end of the work week, weather to not be so darn hot down here, which the last 2 days have actually been quite pleasant. It's been almost 80 degrees as a high for the last 2 days. Now, granted, it's raining a whole lot lately because of that tropical storm or depression that came up and swirled around, pretty much parked its butt on Arkansas for like 5 days.
Yeah.
But, you know, and then now it was raining a bunch today, but, you know, just not being so darn hot, which is like every day during the summer for me. And then, like, the other day I got really cold. I think it was the other night I woke up in the middle of the night and my fever broke. I think that's what it was. I was really, really cold all of a sudden in the middle of the night and just shivering violently. And I was thinking, man, you know, and in my half asleep mind was thinking about, man, it sucks when it's going to get really cold, because I, you know, get into my work truck during the day, it's already cold and I have to wait for the heater to warm up. And I'm like, well, hold on. I was already complaining about it being too hot. Now I'm complaining about it hypothetically being too cold in about 2 months, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, you're never happy. You're always thinking about what better things could be once we get over the next hill, once we move to the new place, once we get to the weekend. You know, it's something that I'm very guilty of. I'm very guilty of not taking the time to truly experience the here and the now and really be conscious of it, because we're always looking forward. We're always, you know, we're very conscious of what comes next. We're, you know, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with looking forward to what's coming, anticipating what things are coming in the future, preparing for those things. But it's all, you know, that's perfectly fine. But where it takes over is kind of the part. And we live in such a busy time in our heads, you know, with as much information, technology, communication that we have. It is so easy to just let all of the input dominate your mind. You know, you just constantly think about this, and then you worry about, oh, this thing is here, this thing is that. You're worrying about things that haven't happened yet, that possibly can't happen or won't happen. You just let that dominate your mind, and you're always worried about, you know, how things are going to be better someday. When if you take a step back and you realize it, for most of us, today is a pretty good day. Like, you're here, you're breathing, you know, you woke up this morning, you know, there's some awesome things, your family standing right there in front of you. And one thing that's kind of reminded me of that is, last week I put in one of those video doorbells for my grandparents back home,
Mm-hmm.
and I shared the account info with my phone so that in case my grandparents need me to tweak a setting or something, I don't have to drive 2 hours there to fix it. I can do it all right here at the house.
Mm-hmm.
One of the side effects from that is I sometimes get alerts when they come home from work or they leave from work, or somebody walks by the door. So now I get the chance to see my grandparents every day,
Mm-hmm.
and I can talk to them if through the video doorbell. I could just talk to them like on Saturday or Sunday. They were down in town and they left, and I got the notification when they got home safe, so I popped in on the camera, and as they're walking up to the door, I greeted them as like a robot through the doorbell, and I got to tell them I loved them and that it was good to see them today, and they said the same back to me and wished me a good night. So
That's really cute.
yeah. It's kind of funny because one video was my granddad went outside. We have a little outdoor fridge that they keep Cokes and such in there. And he grabbed a Coke and he opened it, and he's just sitting there drinking it, looking out on the yard and the road. And then after like a minute, he starts walking back to the door. And my grandmother, who has really latched onto the technology, went through she was on her phone at the movie theater where the movie about to start. And she started talking to him through it. And I got to watch the video of that. And it's just really fun stuff. But, I getting to see my grandparents every day has brought back a lot of memories that I had growing up when I could see them every day when I lived in town.
Yeah.
And it really gave me pause and it reminded me that I have a lot less days left with them than I've already had.
Yeah.
Like they've known me for 35 years, and I Lord willing, it'd be great to see them for another 35 years, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Right.
And so this chance to laugh and see them and experience this kind of fun thing with them has really given me pause and giving me time to really slow down and cut off out exterior inputs, like put my phone down, turn my computer off. And another thing that's done that with me is with Pixie being sick.
Yeah.
That's make you, and I know this, Jules, when you have a sick kitty, your mind goes to that, like, I need to spend more time with them. I need to make sure and treasure these moments, and really dig in and remember how they would chatter at me when I came home from work, or the way they'd sit in my lap and all this stuff. And for most people in most parts of their lives, they don't realize these things are pretty important and they should be cherished until it's way too late. And that's something I've been wrestling with, and I tweeted the other day that my sick brain, when you're sick, you're kind of stuck and your mind wanders, and my mind goes to all these things I contemplated my life and the big questions of my life and stuff like that. And that was one of them, was really kind of digging down and enjoying my life, because if I put pen to paper, most people's lives aren't that bad. I mean, objectively, they're pretty good. I mean, statistically, you're better off than most people in the world if you live in a country that has internet, that has the ability to play video games. You're pretty good compared to everybody. So there's something to be thankful for. There's things that in your life that you can say, hey, yeah, my life sucks in a lot of ways, but man, I sure am thankful I have this, that, and this. And, maybe I should pay more attention to this. Maybe I should call my mother more, call your mother. Maybe I should do all these things. Because at the end of the road, once you reach the end of the road of your life, you've got no more time left. And, a lot of people wish they would have done more things, wish they would have worked less, played with their kids more. They would have gone to see more places, gone to do more things. And I think that kind of ties in with this idea of constantly looking for what's on the other side of the next hill without enjoying the scenery that you've got right now, while you're still walking down the same path. You're still going to get to the next hill. But it doesn't mean you can't look around and, the cliches, smell of flowers, experience what you've got around here now while you're on your way there. And I think a lot of people, especially in our high-tech, high-paced, fast going, never going to stop society, can, do with a little bit of slowing down. As the Pandorans say, slow down.
so
true. Do that.
It's
Be
funny.
more like a Pandaran.
Be more like a Pandaran. It's funny because we had this show topic ready for Thursday show, and we didn't use it, obviously. So I've had it kind of percolating in the back of my mind as I've gone through the last, 6 days or so. And one of the things that was interesting, so like this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I got a migraine. It's just, they suck. I can't. There's nothing else you can say about it, but migraines suck, and they're disruptive to what you want to do for your day. You've got to take your time out and take care of it, medicate, sleep, whatever it is. And on Saturday, I had tried to do some stuff, got the migraine, took the medicine, went to lay down for a nap to get rid of it. Got up and I was feeling better. I was hungry, which was good. And I said, I'm going to go out and I'm going to pick up some dinner. And I drove to the place where I was picking up my food. And it was one of those moments where the weather was just perfect. The sun was setting. It was 68 degrees and my windows were open in my car. My hair was blowing in the wind. And it was one of those perfect moments. I was driving in countryside and I just took these huge deep breaths as I was driving through the countryside. And I was just like, just remember this. Just remember this feeling and this moment and this, what it feels like with the wind on my skin and the cooler air in my lungs and the sun on my face. And it was like, I didn't want that moment to end. And then the sun started going down and I got to where I was going and it was gone. But I carry that memory of that moment, those few, I was probably 10 minutes of time with me for the last, since Saturday. It was just one of those grounding moments. And I was just like, that's what it's about. Those are the moments that you remember. The racing to get to a certain thing, all day I've been racing around, getting stuff done, getting ready to go to the trip, and I'll be racing around tomorrow in the morning to get to the airport and take the plane and get picked up. And eventually, at one point during the weekend, my parents and I will probably go down to the shore, and we're going to sit by the ocean with a drink in our hands. And I'm going to
sounds nice.
Yeah, and I'm going to smell the water, and I'm going to look out on the ocean. Hopefully it'll be sunny. If it's not, it's okay. But, that's just what we do. Those are the things that we do when I go there, and I look forward to that moment. And every time we go, I just take that moment, and it's like a snapshot. Where am I sitting? What does it feel like? What do I feel like? Even going there during the winter time and sitting there in or early spring when it's cold and you're still doing it because this is your thing to do.
Yeah.
And because I don't want to be that person who feels like she's just constantly running from one thing to the next and not taking that moment to remember life and remember the fun things, because it's very easy to have those moments of like on Saturday, wow, I had all these plans, I didn't get them done, I had a migraine, blah, blah, blah. If I had been stuck in that mindset, I would have missed that beautiful moment. I wouldn't have seen that. And so it's I wanted to take the moment now in this show, wherever you are at this particular moment as you're listening to this podcast, and think about something that you could take the moments for. Maybe it's not right now. Maybe you're driving to work or you're at the gym or something like that. It's kind of blah. Maybe you're taking us on a walk somewhere. Maybe it's nice out someplace. You can look around and see things that might be nice to look at instead of pavement and cars and stuff. But if that doesn't happen right now, could that happen later, or could that happen tomorrow, or even saying, anticipatory weekend thing, time when you do have the time to take that moment. I don't know. Because I don't want us to live life that we're constantly on the rat race.
Yeah. Well, and it really is important. And I think it's healthy to take those moments to sit back and just, enjoy the wonder of nature around you. Even if you're not out in a forest or something, if you're just simply like you were just driving through a little bit of countryside in the Midwest, and seeing a pretty sunset with the windows down, I've done that. I've driven, I've driven, down some places and it feels really good outside. So roll the window down, got music playing, just sitting there and just marveling at really how beautiful the world can be.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of us take it for granted and don't really pay attention to when it's right there. And I think a lot of people could do with just finding a place, finding a time where it's just you and the world, just to sit there and just kind of breathe, take a moment, take it all in, and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a picture the other day on, I think it was either Twitter or Facebook, and it was a comparison between people watching Tiger Woods play golf in 2001 versus this year.
I saw that.
You saw that too with the original photo. If you haven't seen it, the original photo is Tiger is swinging up and the whole crowd is just standing there, just watching him play. One of the greatest players of the game. And then the today picture is every stinking person except for like one holdout is sitting there with their iPhone or their Android phone sticking out, watching him through the phone.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And there's like one guy standing there holding out. And I'm like, yeah, guy, you do that because, yeah, sure. Your little, cool looking video of Tiger Woods, the back of Tiger Woods playing is going to be great to show maybe your followers that day, but really you need to focus in and see what's going on.
Gosh, concerts. That drives me insane. Are the people with their phone up filming the concert? You're there. You're there to experience it now. Experience it and take it with you. Like I can't. That is.
There's
100%.
No way that your phone is going to actually get that feeling through it. Now I can understand. I've taken pictures at concerts with my phone before. I've taken pictures of the artist, but not the recordings because I want to experience it firsthand. There's no way I can duplicate that, no. And I can understand. And Tiber says that people are trying to preserve the moment, not savor it. And I understand that. I understand the idea to preserve it, but I don't know. I get both sides of the argument, but for me, I want to sit there and just go down into it and really dig into the experience and just take it in more than me trying to enjoy it while making sure that it's in frame, making sure that I got the lighting right. Is it still recording? Yep. Because that's a distraction to me. Mm-hmm. It kind of takes a little bit away from it.
Yeah. So, you're not,
and I can understand the other side, but like you paid good money to see and watch them. Take a few pictures. It'll, take the pictures, but really watch the band and really enjoy the band because, you're probably not going to go back and watch that again. Not very often. It's not like a slideshow thing you're going to show your kids one day unless it's some huge, like I was there the last time that so-and-so played, here's the video of it. But I was like, come on, put your phone away and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Take a picture, but don't record the whole thing.
I have no problem with pictures. I mean,
no.
The preserving of the moment to say that this happened and I remember this is important. It's absolutely totally important. It just when I watch someone with an iPad holding an iPad up at a concert to film it, right? It's just like that's all you're doing is standing there with an iPad, a huge screen, recording a concert instead of just like put your arms down and just like sink into it and enjoy your time, enjoy this moment. But no, I'm too focused on preserving the moment instead of living the moment. So that's it's an exceptional example of like why we're so focused on like I do this all the time and people yell at me, why didn't you take any pictures when you were at blah 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 blah? Because I was experiencing it. I didn't want to stop and take pictures of it. I didn't want to just like, I don't know. And it's like, no, I don't want to stop and take myself out of that feeling. I want to feel the feeling. I just want to be there. And if it's a family event or something like that, yes, everybody's together. Let's take a picture. It's important for our, but like, I don't know. like I, go to Universal Studios and why did you take any pictures of everything? It's like, no, I was just like, the ride was awesome. I wanted to experience the ride. Like I just wanted to be on it. I didn't want to take pictures of it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Weird.
everybody's seen what the Hogwarts castle looks like at Wizarding World. Like there's
Yeah.
brochure photos of it. I mean, if you get a picture of yourself with it, that's one thing, but
Yeah.
just to take 20 pictures of just the castle, maybe not, maybe. It just depends. I think there's a happy medium as long as you are not sacrificing the moment for taking pictures of the moment. I think that's probably a good place to be.
Yeah.
Because like Tiber said earlier, what he would do is, he'd record a few moments just to have that, but then put the phone away and enjoy the rest of the show. Just,
Yeah.
So I think that's a good compromise, as long as you're not sacrificing the moment.
Which I think a lot of
preserve
people
the moment.
do. I think that they are so focused on preserving that moment, say you were there, that they go and just, spend their entire time recording it. Oh, great. Now that you've seen it in time behind a screen, are you going to watch it again? I don't know. So
some do, some don't, but
yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, that just, us talking about this topic reminded me of that Tiger Woods comparison shot and how the world is so much different, in the last, 10, 15 years.
Yeah. Well, we can capture our lives with the computer that's in our pocket now. And we can,
for better or worse.
Yeah, we capture it for ourselves. We capture it for others, for social media sharing. And that's cool. Like that. I understand. And I'm 100% supportive of that. I mean, we go to BlizzCon, it's going to be like everybody taking pictures, sharing all the great pictures that we take of each other. I'm the worst though. I'll take a whole bunch of pictures. I found like a whole ton of pictures that I took at last BlizzCon that I didn't even share with anybody. It was just me just like snapping selfies with people. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's me and Jim Beverly. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Didn't you like post those in like March or April or something like that? I remember that.
The one that I took with all of us on the escalator as everybody was coming down the escalator. I'm like, oh yeah, I totally forgot I took this picture. Like that's just me being Jules. Like that's me. But I think that kind of it kind of lives in the moment of that. Like I lived in the moment. I snapped a picture of it and then we smiled about it and we laughed and then we went right back to hanging out and being a family again. And it was just like that's what I want it to be. That's what I want that experience to be for me. And I know that we live crazy busy lives. We have so much on our plates. We have like I used the term rat race before. It's just this constant chasing of time. If you have a family, if you have a job, if you have extracurricular things, there's just things everywhere within your schedule that you're trying to fit into yourself. And with that commitment comes like, well, I'm looking forward to this. I'm not looking forward to this. I'm not, this is where we're coming to, blah, blah, blah. And I realized that in the last several years, because I've had so much life change, that it was like I would be saying things like, well, it'll be better when I move, or I can't wait for this to be over. This whole process of, I said that about moving a lot because I moved 3 times in 18 months of time. So it was like move one place and then get that done. And then, oh gosh, I'm going to have to do it again. And now there's all that stuff that has to go around. Okay, now we're done. Now we can move on to this. Or I don't know. It's just take the moments, my friends. Just take them, because you don't know you don't know when they're going to come again. Marconin brought this up before the show started. That I've mentioned this about the CTR party in the past. 7 months of planning and 7 months of hard work to get it there. And on the day of, when it's a marathon of racing around, I would always make it a point to stand in the back of the room and just observe and watch and see everybody out there interacting and hugging and taking pictures and laughing and doing silly stuff. And it just, that was it. That was like the moments where I was just like, this is what makes it all worth it. And you know what? I'm so glad I did that, because it's not going to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Little did I know that 2017 was the last one. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't have, if I hadn't taken those moments, I would have probably felt really bad about, I mean, and like, I wish I had, spent more time just enjoying it. Well, I think I did. So I'm okay with that. Like, it feels
Yeah.
okay to let it go, right? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
where I'm going with that. It's just that,
Well, it's you'd almost say don't frown because it's over, smile because it happened type of
yeah,
things too.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah. I mean, yeah. So those are no regrets, I guess. It's like, you walk away with zero regrets because you took the time and that you feel that you've given it its honor or whatever it is. So,
Yeah. Yeah, one of those times that I really hunkered down and enjoyed the moment was when I was working overnights a few years back, and I was working down in Pensacola, like
mhm.
Pensacola Beach, and it was the night, it was on the weekend, and so it was the middle of the night, which is middle of the day for me. I went out to the beach and had a blanket, and I sat down on the beach, and there was a little bit of a storm off in the Gulf, and there was a nice cool breeze coming in, and there was a little bit of rain, just tiny little sprinkling, nothing bad. And I just sat out there for about an hour or so, just enjoying it and just kind of relaxing, hearing the waves go. And then I fell asleep on the beach for about another hour.
Mhm.
And it was one of those moments that I think about a lot because it's one that I really forced myself to sit down, shut up, and open all my senses to what was going on around me and
Yeah.
really forcing yourself to slow time down because our lives are so hectic. We're always worried about time. We're chasing things. And it's really, you know, like the Pandaren also say, life is to be savored. You're supposed to relish in this life because you only get this one life, you do only live once,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that you hastily go through checking off things on your bucket list because not everybody gets a bucket list or fills them out.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
complete them, but what you do have is a lot of moments that you can cherish because that's all life is just a series of moments.
Yeah.
And make sure that you take those moments and slow them down when you can and really appreciate the place that you're at, the people you're with, the smiles on their faces, what it feels like to give them a hug, what it feels like to have your animal in your lap, if you've got a cat or a dog or ferret or rabbit or whatever, taking those moments with the people and the places and the things that you love and care about is really a good reminder of what makes life worth living. All of these wonderful experiences that we get to have that we a lot of times don't really pay attention to because we're so concerned about what comes after what comes after I have to wake up tomorrow, comes
Yeah.
after I finish this project that I'm working on, or what happens after I walk down the aisle, whether it be graduation or marriage or whatever.
Yeah.
We're all so concerned with what happens next, we forget about what's happening right now.
It's
And
true.
it's something that I'm guilty of a lot of times. Like I said earlier, that's me all the time. I'm
Mhm.
constantly looking for, I think about BlizzCon almost every day during the year, at least once I'll think about it because I look
Yeah.
forward to it so much.
Yeah.
But I need to
But
do a
then
better
you're
job of
there.
not letting it. Yeah. And then in there, and then it's gone. And then I
Yeah.
have to wait till next year. But it's really focusing on the things that need, that would make your life a little bit, you know, not it makes your life more rich, I think, when you take those moments and you really get to soak in where you're at and what you're doing. And it really is effective at slowing down the time because you can always go back to it,
Yeah.
you know and my mom just said, wherever you go, be there.
Mhm.
So actually be there.
Yeah.
Don't be sitting on your phone the whole time like Groot in Infinity War, playing the game the entire time.
I mean, we listen to, or we listen. You folks listen to us often, and you are mostly WoW players. A lot of you are
Mm-hmm.
WoW players. Even in WoW, for real. Instead of just being like, I'm going in to do my world quests, going in there, this is my grind for the day, this is what I'm going to do. Take the moment. Like, You've been anticipating this moment to get there all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time it's like, when I get done with work and I get done with this and my errands are done and the dishes are clean and la 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 la, and the kids are in bed is when I can sit down and play WoW. Cherish that moment for even just 1 minute.
Yeah. Go to Stormsong Valley and turn the music on. Just sit there for a couple minutes.
For real.
That place has such beautiful sound.
You know,
my goodness.
That is the truth. And it sounds like, oh, that sounds really easy, but yeah, you don't think about it. You don't consider it. You don't take the moment to step backwards and say, I'm going to do this, or I'm actively going to cherish this moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's a skill. It is a skill. You have to learn how to do that, to take yourself out of you for a little bit and just be.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, as I was thinking about today and all the things that I had to do to prepare for my trip and the things I have to do tomorrow to prepare for my trip, you know, I'm getting up early and making sure that I get a ride to the airport and get to the airport and all the things, blah, 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 blah. There will be a certain point on that list where I can finally go, right? You know, sitting in my seat on the airplane when I can finally just be like, all right, I'm here.
Yep.
And that is mostly what we're living for, right? What that moment is, and usually it's the time after you've done all the stuff you have to do. Work, errands, family, stuff that just need to get done. And then you get that. Even if it's you laying down in your bed for that time at night where you can finally relax and shut off. Even then, focus on that moment for just a few minutes.
Yeah, instead of just going straight to bed, just kind of, you know, and I do that sometimes. I'll have a podcast on in my ears on my headset when I'm going to sleep. And sometimes I'll just kind of relax and consciously relax. You know, I'll start relax my arms. Okay. Oh, that feels good. Okay. Relax my legs. Oh, that feels good. And you just kind of think about it and relax instead of worrying about, I got to go to bed because I got to get up in the morning. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You know, just take it. I mean, it's not going to make any difference if you take 5 minutes just to relax. Sometimes I fall asleep in the little bit of that relaxing time before I put something on. I'll be so relaxed and so just kind of reflective. I'll just fall asleep.
Yeah. For me, I feel the sensations of the getting into bed, the sheets, the soft pillow, the mattress kind of sinking into my body, feeling the sensations of it. It's all that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And let me be clear. I don't do this a lot. I should do it more. So this is more of me saying this for the podcast to say, I'm going to try and do this more myself too. So you guys might as well come along with us.
Yeah. Join us in this quest to relax more.
Yeah. Because there's nothing. People look at it often and say it's a bad thing, or it's lazy, or it's wasteful. You know, it's not wasteful. It's not lazy. It's part of you. It's part of being. And so just things to consider as you're listening to the show. I mean, you consciously took the effort to listen to the show today. So what good could you do for yourself for those moments of the rat race to slow down a little bit? Slow down. And stay a while and listen.
Listen to the Pandaren and Deckard Cain.
I don't know. That's a good place to end it, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And if you want to share what you did in the next week or so, where you slowed down, where you actually took some time to relax and just take in the world around you, be free, feel free to send us your comments at questions@taurenThinkTank.com. Or of course, the Discord is tinyurl.com/TTTchat2. and we'd love to hear it. I mean, heck, we might even put it in our feedback next week of where you decided to let your life slow down and really experience the world around you, and maybe even tell us what you saw, what you felt. How did that go for you?
I'll even do this one up. If you go on Discord and everybody's afraid to be the first person to make a comment because they feel kind of weird after they've listened to the show. Like, I feel weird. I'm the first person to make a comment. I will make sure that you get a bunch of moo emojis on your statement in the Discord. You're going to get a whole lot of moo interactions on there if you are the first person to post that in Discord. So
come on, do it.
Yeah,
we're all friends there.
And maybe you will start a revolution by sharing what you've done.
Yeah, start the revolution.
Oh my, no. No. There's stretching, and then there's overstretching.
I tried.
I think you overstretched. Oh, dude, I think that's a show.
I think it is. I think it is. It was a good topic.
It was a very good topic. And if you, like as Mark Conan said, if you have feedback about this topic, or if you have your own to suggest, or a letter of needing advice from the two of us about anything related to gaming, life, world, probably not politics, but anything else is okay. And
that's probably a safe bet.
Yeah, we leave the politics to the other people. So, yeah. But
there's enough people talking about that already.
I know. So, yeah, but life is tough, and sometimes you just need another outside perspective to take a look at a situation to say, this is what I see. And Mark Conan and I have been doing this for 6+ years now. So, we've got a little bit of mileage under our belts with it. We're here to help. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening with you next 7 days or so? What's on the plan?
Oh, really not a whole lot. I don't have any other podcasts I'll be on, at least not that I know of. Last time I was on Azeroth Roundtable, it was kind of a last minute, like, hey, our friend canceled. Our guest canceled. Can you get on? I was like, yeah, sure. But had some good feedback from the last time I was on with Ben and John. So I may we may do it again sometime soon, but not this weekend that I know of. So not really a whole lot going on, just mostly work and trying to kick the last vestiges of this cold in sinus infection thing, whatever it is that I've had, just kicking the last bit of it to the curb so I can get into tip top shape again, because I need to get back to working out again. And I was planning on it last week, but then my body was like, nah, I'm going to get sick instead. So that happened. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, and if I can get back into the gym again, because it's been far too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of my goal for next week, is to get back in there.
Good.
But what about you? I know you usually have a lot more going on during the week than I do. So what's on the plan other than you traveling?
Oh, I forgot to mention this too. Something else that I'm doing, and I'm blogging now on heroeshearth.com. I am now a staff writer on the team. And I have started a blog series for content creation. So here is the thing. I did an interview with a Twitch streamer who has just started doing his stream back in February for Heroes of the Storm, and his name is Darth Coffee. And he is very different, very fun, lots of different crazy screen transitions and silly stuff, and he's just fun. And we had an awesome interview, and afterwards when we were done, he said to me, he's like, this was so great, because it was his first podcast. He'd never been on a podcast before.
Oh, cool.
And I just said, yeah, I've been doing this for a little bit. And he goes, how long have you been doing this? And I said 6 years. And he said, 6 years? That's insane. That's incredible. And I was like, well, I mean, sometimes it just feels like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about a whole bunch of stuff, and he had a lot of questions about just content creation in general. And I just said, maybe it is time for me to start writing about some of the experiences that I've had. Maybe it is time to talk about some of the things that I've learned as a content creator, especially for new people. So I started writing. On heroeshearth.com, and I was just writing this blog, and showed it to Workhorse, who was the owner of Heroes Hearth. And he was just like, and I said, I think this is turning into a series. And he just went, exclamation points across the board. He got so excited. And so I decided now I'm creating a blog series on there about content creation. And you can go check it out. It's heroeshearth.com. And if you do a search under my name, it's Jules RPG on Heroes Hearth. You can follow me on Heroes Hearth to get the blog. And I also posted on my Twitter. I posted it in the Triple T Discord. This first week the topic was content creation is hard work. And then the next chapter of this is going to be about finding your place in content creation and why not being afraid of change is the best thing. There's just so much to talk about. So I don't really feel like I'm an expert, and yet I've been able to advise people in the past about it. So I was like, oh, well, I've gotten some really awesome feedback from people on it. So thank you guys so much. I'm so sorry I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show. That was dumb of me. And so I'll be running another one of those. That's a big one. And then the rest of the week, I'm going to be spending it with my parents and enjoying some time with them. Yeah. Like, I wound up making a couple things, little new chainmail stuff.
Yeah, I saw those. Those are awesome.
The pendants that I made, people just went bonkers over them. And so I now have like a bunch of commissions to make these pendants, and it was like great. So I'm going to be picking up some more chainmail stuff when I get done. So that's chainofjewels.com. If I haven't mentioned it in a while. So go out there and check it out if you need a commission done. If you're looking for a BlizzCon lanyard, I'm still making those for another couple weeks before I have to close that. And so yeah,
they're awesome.
Marcona's got one. So
yep,
and
I got one. It's great.
There, I've pimped my stuff. That's what's going on. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I will be working on the next blog while I'm away, so hopefully it'll go up on Monday. And yeah, I think that's it. So we'll do the thing that we always do, which is close the show. I'm just going to get my notes because otherwise if I don't, it's going to be really bad. There's the notes. This is how we do it. Tauren Think Tank is supported by you, our fans. Thank you to every one of you for supporting us every month on Patreon. If you would like to help out Triple T, if you're not already, we so do appreciate it, and you can do that at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank.
Yes, you can. Also, portions of the music and sound effects heard on this show can be found at incompetech.com and freesound.org. You can also find us outside of the show on our website. That's at taurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and how to get in touch with us as well.
Absolutely. If you want to meet other members of the Triple T community, you can join our Discord server. The quick way to get there is tinyurl.com/TTTchat2.
Do it. You can also like us on Facebook at, you guessed it, facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can also find us on Twitter for the show at Tauren Think Tank. You can also find Jules at Jules RPG. You can find me, Marconin, at Marconin Wow.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight and hanging out every Thursday night, most of the time, at 8 o'clock Central. You can find us. The video stream is live with a live chat room who are feisty and silly and goofy and very insightful at twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank. We love seeing you here, however you can be with us. Marconin.
Jules.
I'm glad you're feeling better, so keep doing that.
Oh, me too. Definitely going to keep my vitamin C high and keep myself medicated until I get completely over this. So I should be good probably tomorrow or the next day. So
good.
You have some safe travels. Enjoy the time with your parents. Slow down.
I'm going to slow down, I promise. We'll be back next Thursday at our normal time, and we will see you then. For myself, for Marconin, for the entire chat room, until next time. /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
A 355 weapon? Damn.
Yeah, man, that's good.
I
I did my Proudmoore Admiralty emissary today because it had a 340 wand and I still had a 330 wand, and I was like, man, I need that. So I hunkered down and got those world quests out of the way. And I was like, yay, 340. And now you're doing the 355. I'm like, oh, dang it. We
What
still
is
haven't started rating yet, huh?
yeah, what's the world, so the world level is 340?
The 340 is in 340 Mythic. Draven, isn't that 340 is
Oh,
what
those
drops
are
out of Mythic Dungeons?
Mhm.
Yeah, you can get up to level up to blues up to like 325 or 330
Mm.
is like up to the blue in the blue gear from world quests, and they scale up based on what your current eye level is. So
Gotcha.
as you get more gear from world quests, the world quest gear forges a little bit higher for you.
Gotcha.
And like Draven said, 340 is for just regular mythic zeros, and then you get higher for mythic pluses. I think regular raid or normal is 350. Normal drops 350 gear. And I guess he warforged up to 355. That's what I'm thinking.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, no kidding.
I need to. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch that. Did you watch any of that today, Jules?
Just a very little bit this morning. I was super busy today, so
Mm.
I was trying to squeeze in time during the afternoon to watch the Apple keynote today too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, and so I was like, I'm trying to get that in there, and then I had to run out. And at that point, I was like, I got to go run errands before I get things. So I missed the live stream about the BlizzCon stuff, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Most of Wednesdays are normally me, like, it's like all day podcasting, like research, writing, recording, editing. It's like all day podcast now. So,
Oh man.
it is what it
Yeah.
is.
Mm-hmm. And luckily, I didn't have a very rough day. And tomorrow we've got a meeting all morning, and then most of my jobs tomorrow I think have canceled, other than like one or two. So it may be a light day tomorrow.
Could be an easy day for you.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the jobs is literally going in with an adapter, putting the adapter in, plugging it up, and that's it. Because I did a big job, and the new model of the TV didn't have the adapters for the old AV cables, the red, yellow, white. It didn't have it. But there's a special adapter you have to order. It's a Sony, and you have to order it. And so the lady who did the budgeting and the proposal for this big job was like, that's right, I needed to order that. I totally forgot I didn't have it. And so she ordered it, and it's been like about 2 weeks since then. And so now I get to grab the little adapter and walk in, like, okay, boop, you're done. See ya.
So could the customer just like not use their thing until that was there?
Well, they could use it for everything else, but the adapter with the AV cables is for their old VCR.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So they could still use cable, Blu-ray, all that stuff, smart features on the TV. It's just, I asked him when I was wiring it up, I was like, sir, do you still use your VCR? He's like, yeah, every once in a while. I'm like, dang it. Okay. Got to make sure it works. And of course it didn't, because the new TV didn't have those ports on it, but there is the solution. And so I go back out there again tomorrow. It's a very interesting gentleman. He handed me a business card that was like tongue-in-cheek business card. It's like, first name, last name, tall, dark, handsome, quick of wit, son of a gun. And then it had his phone number at the bottom, because I gave him my business card. He's like, hey, I got a business card for you.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
He's a cool guy. But yeah, I get to see him again tomorrow.
And he still watches things on VHS.
Yeah, well, it could be, like my mom has a lot of our home movies are on VHS still,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So I mean, for that, definitely, I understand having a VCR.
I don't own
for
one
old tapes
anymore.
and stuff. I don't either. I could have. I had one client that was getting rid of it, and the thing was built 2 months before I was born. There's a manufacture date on it. Still worked, which is good news for me,
Wow.
because I still work, so that's good. But and I was like, well, if I had a use for it, I would.
35-year-old VCR.
Yeah, it was a standalone, big and bulky thing. Looked kind of like an old Nintendo, like NES system.
I remember those. Was it one of the top loader things that had the springs that came down, or no?
No, it wasn't one of those. It was still the kind of the side. You just put it
Yeah.
in the side, but it was heavy. So it was kind of it's neat to see old technology like that. I really like seeing that stuff,
Yeah.
but not necessarily having it in my house.
It's so strange to me to be thinking about those old time VCRs as being old technology,
Yeah.
because I remember as vividly as yesterday what it was like to get one and how cool it was that we could watch movies at home.
Yeah, or that you could record movies off of TV and then watch them later.
Yes. That was, and then you could program your VCR to record that thing that you wanted to see that you couldn't be home for.
And it would start up and then it would stop. It's nuts. I actually played around with a record player, vinyl, and got it set up, and I had to figure out how to use it because I had not dropped the needle on anything, I don't think ever, but I'd seen people do it. So so they're like, yeah, can we test it out? I'm like, yeah, sure. Let me you got a record? And he's like, yeah, here you go. And I was like, was the thing. And then I think I turned the switch to turn it on, and I kind of fumbled with it. And he's like, okay, now it's turning. And then I put it on, and they're absolutely right. Vinyl does sound really, really good.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it sounds great. I'm used to so much digital. It was good to hear something a little more analog.
Yeah.
And it made me chuckle because when I tested it out and it went through the speaker system and everything, so it worked great. And then I was just like, okay, yeah, it's great. And I turned it off. But of course, it doesn't just stop the record. It slows it down. So you got to hear him talk about he started.
That was one of my favorite things to do as a kid, was to just turn the turntable and I love that. And then changing the needles. Yeah, changing the needles on your record player. I had to do that. Just
never done that, but how tough is that? Because I know those are little kind of small things.
They were annoying. They were very annoying. I think usually I was so young at the time, because I was so young before they stopped, that most of the time it was an adult, because it was a needle. And so it was dangerous. And so that was the adults that had to change the needle on the record player. It wasn't kids. But crazy. I got my first CD player when I was in high school. That was insane. That blew my mind that we could play on CDs. That's insane.
Yeah, and then keep it in your pocket with the skip protection.
Walk around with a big old CD Walkman on a exercise walk because you wanted to listen to your favorite album. Ever spin a record backwards for a hidden message? Hell yeah. I totally did that. I totally did that, Timer. Oh, man. It's just too funny. I still sometimes don't believe that I'm the age that I am because of all, all those things that have accumulated. But it still feels like it was yesterday. I don't know. It's just this weird stoppage of time. So
yeah, it really is. And that, that feeds back into us taking those moments to really experience time and slow it down by letting all your senses take it in. It gives you that more concrete memory, and that you can jump back to it like it was yesterday.
It's true.
All right. What should we name this guy?
Oh yeah. Thank you.
We got Draven's, and then we've also Tiber's got a few in there. It should have been Start the Revolution, Tiber. I'm going to make it a thing. Fetch is not going to be a thing. Oh, I'll make it a thing.
I think Take the Moment is my choice.
That's kind of my what I was thinking. Right. Either live in the moment or take the moment, but Take the Moment sounds good. Plus, both Draven and Tiber agree on that one, so we can say that they both named it this week.
And you both share the title.
Yes. So Draven, you've got competition. You both have the title this week. For show title namer.
Show title namer person. That's who you.
Yep.
That's you.
STNP. Show title namer person.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here so I can edit up the show and post it and finish my packing. So.
Yep. So we got a jet, folks.
Gotta go.
Hope you have a wonderful week, and Jules, have a wonderful trip.
Thank you.
Enjoy, and give Mom and Papa Jules a big old hug from me. All right.
I will. And we'll be back next week. /moo, everybody.
/moo, folks. See you next week.
Bye.